everyone, this is Heba from My Little Journal, and today I'm excited to be sharing with you a flip through of my Scrappy Spiral notebook. I've been asked to do a flip through of the spreads I've already created in this notebook, so I thought it would be fun to do one and also create a layout with you. So if you're not familiar with this Scrappy Spiral notebook of mine, I got this from Mochi Things and I love it. It is such a fun little notebook to work in. I have changed the spirals. A lot of my subscribers told me a while back when I shared a little bit about this notebook to not tear out any pages and change the spirals to bigger ones so it won't get like too tight because it was already getting pretty bulky. So it was really easy to do. I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos, got the spirals from Amazon. I will try to link them in the description box for you. But they are metal with like this plasticky feel to them. But anyways, they worked out really well. And I changed it out and I'm so happy I listened to my subscribers. So thank you to everybody who told me to change out these spirals, and it worked out really well and it was really easy to do. So I've already documented March through May, and I want to share with you what I've already created in here. I did change the cover. I just covered up the center and used these numbers from Studio Calico. These are acetates, and they fit so nicely and they were big and large and I love them so much. But anyways, let's get to it. As always, I'll link everything I mentioned in this video down in the description box for you. I also did want to mention I am not affiliated with Mochi Things. I bought this myself. I just fell in love and love sharing with you new discoveries of mine. I always feel like we're always looking for new ways to document our life, and this has become a favorite. So our first spread is all about my walks with lathe and stitch. My son has been having a rough time at school lately, or at this time, and it was time to kind of de-stress and chat and go on our walks while he comes to visit on the weekend. So I wanted to document that. I love this notebook because I use my stamps. I already use my stamps loads, but it's another great way and place to use my stamps and also use my stickers and ephemera. I rarely use stickers and ephemera, and this is a great place to use it because I want to keep things flat. So I was able to use more of my stickers. So I love the fact that this notebook has boxes. So basically this is what it looks like, and there's two different layouts, and it's really fun to kind of change it up and change out the format as I go. So basically I print all my photos at home using my selfie printer. I use collages, like app collages to do that, and I just have fun with it and just fill out the boxes as I go. Documenting spring, a little bit of flowers, playtime with Stitch. Again, using some of my ephemera, using a lot of my stamps. I love using these boxes to add like bold titles and fun titles. So I've been making sure to use at least one of the boxes for my titles. Breakfast at Mom, I always have to document my food, but especially when I have breakfast or dinner or lunch with my parents, it's always so yummy. So I made sure to document that in my notebook. I've also been adding my dates up top to make sure I keep up with when these moments happen and when I took these photos. I also documented my peaches. Again, some stickers, a great way to use my stickers. We started a peach box. So basically, if you're not familiar actually with my peaches, I definitely recommend to check out my membership here on YouTube. We have so much fun. We do Zoom meetups. We exchange boxes full of stamps, embellishments, all the goodies. And our Zoom meetups are so much fun. It's a group of amazing women, and we get to chat, and we've become so close. They have become my crafty friends for sure. So anyways, I documented our peach box. Our first one was stamps, and I think our second one was embellishments, but it literally goes all around the world, and it's so much fun to see everybody get their box and how excited they are. I also did a day in the life. This is a great notebook to document a day in life, a week in the life. You don't even have to just use one page to document one thing. If you wanted to document a day in the life and you had loads of photos, you can use 2 pages or even more. It's like just make it your own. It's so much fun to work in. Always documenting Stitch, just using some of my dog stamps, my sister turning 42 and us celebrating her. I love using my transparency paper, my transparency sticker paper to add my journaling. It's a great way to add that in. You could definitely write things out if you wanted to. Obviously, it's a notebook, so you can use your handwriting if you wanted to, but I find it to be easier to just print out my journaling. Movie night with Laith. This is one of my favorite times when we get to sit and watch some old movies together. So this is kind of like a collage of different movies we've been watching, and I journaled about that. I actually did 3 spreads. I didn't finish this one because I wanted to add another photo and some journaling here as well. Probably multiple photos because I have like different boxes, but I'm okay with leaving things blank and coming to it later. I also like to document what I read for the month. I forgot, I believe, to do that maybe for April, but it's not a big deal. Ramadan was in April, so I documented our first iftar at my parents' house. Again, another Stitch layout. I love documenting Stitch. So now we're getting into April. I made sure to use some labels. These are from Passion Planner, but I do use my label maker as well. So I just added April for that. And now we're into April, and I'm documenting shows and movies I've been watching. My craft room, I reorganized and added a new desk in my craft room. So I did like some before and after photos. This one was so much fun to do because I used my like crafty stamps, and I created like a little box of craftiness, which it was a lot of fun. Another Ramadan layout. I just noticed that I didn't add my date, which is fine. I can always go back and see what day this was and just stamp it in. My daughter went to New York, so I wanted to make sure that I add a layout documenting their trip to New York. My beautiful garden. I love documenting my garden. I make sure to do that every year, multiple times. And I had loads of photos of my garden, so I went with a 2-spread layout here. Again, you can make it your own. It doesn't have to be one spread at a time. My coffee, as always, I love the stamp set from Close to My Heart. I had so much fun creating a little spread for my coffee. As always, my summer layouts are full of pool photos, so I just documented that. Again, this is another Close to My Heart stamp set. Documenting getting awards throughout the year. This was a special one, and it had to be documented. So Sabine had gotten the Georgia Merit Award, which is amazing, and it was a great celebration, so I made sure to document that. Then my nephew graduated. We were so proud of him. He graduated from UGA. So I loved creating this collage. What I look at when I look at this notebook, I look at it as a huge collage, and I love collages, and I love small and multiple photos on one spread. So this notebook brings me so much joy. It seems like I forgot to add my journaling, but again, I can always go back in and do that. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and feel like you have to finish a spread at the moment. Or if you forgot something and you go back and you flip through and you notice it, it's not a big deal. You can always go back in and add whatever you want. I always say, like, my layouts sometimes are not my final layout. Sometimes I'll come back and add something, or I'll look at something and say, you know what, I have a sticker that fits really well with this spread, so I'll add it. It's not a big deal. Anyways, I went ahead and documented this moment here. We went and had lunch and ice cream. It was a great time in Atlanta. I always tend to forget that I live in a great city and I don't get to go as often as I would like to. So this just brought me so much joy, and it reminded me that I need to be going to Atlanta more often. So next up, I did share this one on Instagram. So basically, Laith moved out of UGA and he is transferring to a different university. It's a smaller university, closer to home. And we really wanted him to basically be happy in the space, in the place he's at. And we had made the decision with him, obviously, that he should transfer. And sometimes these moments are bittersweet and they're sad and happy and all the emotions. And these are the moments I like to document because I know in a few years when I look back and Laith is working and graduated and all that stuff, we're going to remember this moment and we're going to say that's a detour that had to be done. We had to go a different route so you can find your way. So I'm really excited about his new journey and I wanted to document that. And like I said, I shared this recently on Instagram. I also shared this one on Instagram. This one's a fun one. We got to vote in the primary elections, and I wanted to kind of represent that. I love this sticker. I've had it forever. I've been hoarding it. It's from The Paper Person, and I just added that in the box. I stamped a few little things. I have a lot of voting stamps that I don't get to use as often because obviously we don't vote every day or every year. So it's fun to bring out those stamps that you love and you don't get to use as much. So that is it for my little Scrappy notebook. And today I thought it would be fun to create a spread with you. I'm going to be documenting Stitch turning 2 this year. We were so excited. So I want to create a spread documenting that special moment with Stitch. So I'm going to speed this up and create a fun spread celebrating Stitch. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and document Stitch on his special day. So I had 4 photos, and I thought it would be fun if I had all the photos in the center and stamped around it. I just like that look, and I think everything will balance out nicely once I start stamping. So I go ahead, stick down my photos, and then I'm going to grab some pet stamps, birthday stamps, because obviously we're celebrating Stitch on his birthday. I start with the stamp set from the Paper Person shop, and I stamp Party Animal as my little title for my journaling. And then I'm going to use one of the stamps that says Happy Birthday to. I'm going to stamp that as a part of my title, but I want to stamp Stitch with large alphas. So once I stamp that, I'm going to grab some large alphas, I believe also from the Paper Person, and I'm going to stamp Stitch with some yellow ink. I wanted a bright color because my photos are pretty dark and I wanted to bring in some color, so I go with that mustard yellow. Once I stamp Stitch, I want to also stamp some balls. Stitch is such a fan of playing ball, and I wanted to bring in his favorite toy into my title. So I'm going to grab the stamp set from Everyday Explorers. It's a dog lover stamp, and I'm going to stamp a few of the balls. And that corner one that I end up stamping at the end doesn't stamp really well because it kept hitting the spirals on my notebook. I probably should have went with a smaller stamp block, but anyways, I'll end up covering that up with a sticker. And I also want to stamp a birthday cake because it's his birthday. I love the stamp set. It's all about birthdays and celebrating birthdays. And it has like filler stamps as well. So I fill out the birthday cake with different colors, again, to brighten up my spread and to make everything pop. Now, when I'm working in this notebook, I also like to use my stickers and my ephemera and create my own embellishments. So I'm going to do that right now by stamping It Is Your Birthday on some white sticker paper, trim it out, and add that right in the middle between 3 of my photos, just to add a little something and depth to my spread without adding the bulk. So once I stick that down, I'm going to grab my stickers and start adding stickers here and there, again, to help me add some color to my spread and add some depth and texture. When I'm looking through my stickers, I don't think really hard. I start with the top ones and just go through my stickers. And if anything pops, I go for it. Like these little circles were perfect to use as little balls and to cover up my boo-boo as well. I also do want to add the number 2 to represent that he turned 2 in May. So I just grab some puffy stickers and add that to one of my photos. I want to finish up my spread by coloring in my birthday cake and bringing in some more color to that corner of my spread using my Crayola Super Tip markers. and then I call my layout done. Obviously, I'm going to stamp out the date and then I call it done. But that's about it, you guys. I love this notebook because my spreads come together so quickly and everything pops. And I'm so, so excited to create more in this notebook and share a flip through in the next few months as well, just once I finish up a few more spreads. But that's about it, you guys. I will be linking everything I use down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye.